Hello friends, you're the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Neanderthal. We've seen the first two turns and the archaic man, Homo heidelbergensis, he already is in pretty much trouble. That happened partly because I cheated. I tried to correct that, and at the end of the last video, so now he comes up with four cubes. I don't want to see him extinct because of my fort there. So he's now at 4 cubes. The reason for that is because we've seen an attack of the Neanderthal on him, and the Neanderthal simply rode ridiculously well, and that led to these extreme losses of the archaic. Problem is, we probably would not have seen that attack if I hadn't made that mistake of this wanderlust in the first place. So therefore I tried to give him some compensation, and okay. But he's in big trouble anyway. Okay. Otherwise, not too much happened until now. Except maybe that the Neanderthal already managed to get a trophy, and he managed to get a mature, caring woman. So that's pretty good. That would allow him in the next term to place another portal here, for example. So yeah, that's a pretty good start for him. In addition, he has a fire starter. So I guess Neanderthal is now doing best. Let's draw the next event. Okay, and again we have here this worm glacial thing, so we're going to place another additional event card that comes into the game, and we have 3 elder deaths. A mental portal can create appropriate incongruities, a joining of normally incongruous elements. Thus the first anthropomorphic jokes, such as a talking mouse. Okay, so first let's do the elder dead. Again, we have this symbol 3 times, so that means each one has to roll 3 dice. And everyone has an elder rank 6, so if you roll a 6, bad luck. And yes, of course, the green guy lost his elder too. So the disc goes back here into the vocabulary, and the elder is gone. Bad luck also for Homo sapiens. And what about the Neanderthal? Well, if you're lucky, you're lucky, huh? So his elder survived. First player in this round is red, second yellow. Now that could be a big advantage for green in this case, because he can react, he can place his cubes on a space, on a biome where the others are not. Otherwise, if he had to take another attack, he'd be in big trouble, I guess. Okay, we can auction a laughing woman. Jokes. If suffering chaos, you may lose 4 hunters instead of half. That's very good. That's extremely strong, actually. Because usually if you suffer chaos, you lose half your hunters. You suffer chaos if you have more cubes than you have vocabulary. I already said that in the first video. But now these guys might be able to really collect a lot of cubes, because if you only lose 4, it's not so bad. So I think some people might want to bid on that. On the other hand, the bids won't go too high, simply because Homo sapiens and Neanderthalensis, they don't want to go into chaos, and if they bid now a lot of money, well, their vocabulary shrinks. So let's see. Okay, so Homo sapiens was willing to bid 2. So was the Neanderthal and the archaic man, but because Homo sapiens is first, he will get that. So he bids a black and a white disc, because here, if he hunts the steppe bison, he might be able to free both discs in the next move. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. Now let's see. We can now place our hunters, and I think 2, 4, 6, 9. Well, there's obviously a risk involved. Hunting this guy isn't easy. We need 3 successes. A 5 would mean a wound or a dead. And a 6 is a dead by frostbite. So there is a risk involved, there is no doubt here. In addition, we have 2 predators here. And if we kill a big game, and the symbol for that is this. This is a small game, big game, and that's a predator. And if we kill a big game, then the predators will come and try to eat that bison too. So we have to fight the predator to defend our prey here. But anyway, I think I'm going to try it. So basically, my only thought is, do I want to place a fire starter first or not? And I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to place all these guys here. It's going to be a difficult hunt. Okay. Let's see what he wants to do. Well, first he wants to marry the caring woman. So what he simply does is, he places a cube here, and because there is this orange background, he has to pay a social vocabulary disc and place it underneath. So that means that the husband is not mature yet. First, he has to free the disc, and then, it's a mature husband. And then, because of this pair bonding thing, your daughter's abilities and portal actions are inactive until she marries. Just when this husband is mature, then he can actually use her advantages. Because of his pair bonding, he has a pretty big vocabulary. He doesn't have to place any discs here, so he might actually be able to get a few more people. Let's see what we want to do here. Okay, I'm simply going to place all these guys here on the willow ptarmigan. It's going to be not too hard. The good thing is it only gives me one additional cube. I don't want too many because I don't want to go into chaos. I can free a yellow cube if I'm successful, and maybe I can get that card. If I got triples, I can get that thing, and then later I can try to domesticate this if I'm tribal. So I'm gonna go for that. Finally, it's the archaic man. Well, and he obviously wants to get more people. I mean, he only has 2. So what he does is he places all his guys here. He needs a 1 to be successful, and he better is. I mean, this is now, we're now at a moment where basically every roll for him is critical. Okay, so now let's do the hunt, and we start here on the step bison. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice. A 6 would be frostbite. We don't have a fire starter. That means we're not immune. A 5 would be well, a bite from the bison. Okay, let's see. And we want 3 times a 1 or 2 to be successful on the hunt, and we want quadruples to get this. Damn. I see. It's not that easy. Well, I cannot take that in my hand. Usually I could. If I had quadruples, I could take it in my hand. But we have a hand limit. And the hand limit is the number of your elders. And because this sucker died, I cannot take any card in my hand. Oh, that's not that great, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, now what do we have? That's not so bad, actually. It was a pretty good hunt. Sadly, I mean, we have these 3 successes. That's cool. That gives us 5 new people. No, wait a second. 5 new people. We can free a black and a white disc. That would be here, these 2 discs. That's perfect. Basically, that was a perfect hunt. We would have quadruples here. Sadly, we cannot use that. And we only have 1 5 and 1 6. So that means we only lose 2 people. Okay. What happens now? Okay, because this is a big game, the next predator, which is the scimitar cat, because it's right next to us, will attack us. So we now have to do another hunt with these guys. What we need is a single success. If we have a single success, we keep the bison and everything is fine. If we don't have that success, we lose all our advantages here, and it's the same as if we didn't make the hunt at all. Of course, in addition, it is possible that we also have a successful hunt on this guy, but there we need 2 times a 1. But hey, who knows? So let's see, 2 of our people died in the last hunt, so we now have only 7 dice remaining. We need at least a single 1. And we have that. That is good. But we don't have 2. And we also don't have any quadruples. So that means the hunt on the scimitar cat wasn't successful. But it wasn't able to steal the bison from us. Still, we have lots of 5 and 6s. Well, basically we have 3 1, 2, 3. So that means the cat killed 3 of our people. By the way, I think we're going to give that guy away. We can also pick these from the Wanderlust. Okay. But now we can take the the advantages from this first hunt. So 5 babies, and we can free these discs. Okay. So basically we end up with the same number of hunters that we did before, but we were able to free the disc, and now we have that mature laughing woman. And that would allow us to place a portal somewhere. That's good. So I want to show you again, just remember, you have to fight this predator here only if you do a big game hunt, and the predator has to be in the same row. So this is the north row and the predator was right next to it, so then you have to do the fighting. If we would, for example, hunt that straight-tusked elephant here, there is no predator in the south row, so therefore we can simply take the reward of the hunt and everything's fine. Okay, now let's see for this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dice. That's a lot. Shouldn't be a problem, I guess. Okay. For now I only see 1 success, but that's good enough. We have triples, 6, which is fine. That allows us to take the card in our hand. We have here frostbite, so basically we would lose a guy for every 6, but we have a fire starter. That means we're immune to frostbite. Therefore, we'll get another baby, and we can free the yellow disc. That is great, because now the caring woman is married, and well, we would win now in the future auction ties. Definitely a good thing. We can hold this card in our hand because we have an elder, so that's also fine. Yeah, pretty happy here. Now, let's take all these guys, and we get another baby. You can see we've taken the card in our hand, and another gap appeared here. But this is different than the gap that comes from taking a trophy in our hand. This gap will be refilled, so we simply draw a card here from the north row. That's the caribou. The circumpolar deer species, also known as the reindeer, is able to eat buried lichen by spawning through the snow. So we simply place that here now, and fine. We see the tree goose, and that's pretty important now. We definitely want a 1, otherwise poor Archaic is in trouble. And he's got 1. That is great. And he even has triples. So therefore he would be allowed to take this in his hand. Sadly, he doesn't have an elder. So his hand limit is 0. Can't take it in his hand. But he gets 2 additional hunters. And that kind of brings him back into the game, at least a little bit. That's very, very important. Okay, great. Now let's come to the next phase. We start again here with Cro-Magnon, And he's now allowed to make a portal action. Place orange portal. So he can place that. Meh. Does he want to do that? No, absolutely not. For him, this is basically useless because he already has an orange portal here. The jokes are the cool thing for him. Not so much, he can't use his portal action. Or, well, he could place an orange portal here, but that wouldn't do really good. What about him? Well, now that his woman is married, he can actually place an orange Venus portal right here. And if he now can place another portal here, a white one, or a white portal here, then he would be able either to create a Napper Elder or a Warrior Elder. Finally, it's him, and yeah, he can't do anything. Next event. Okay. Our primal self-communication seemed to have been in verse, perhaps dactylic hexameter. This explains our otherwise inexplicable need for music and poetry, unique among the animals. During the much later invention of religion, poetry became regarded as divine knowledge, the voice of the gods. So what happens? First we have here global warming. Now what does that mean? Well, we draw a card from the south row. Max Rhinoceros. We look for the card with the lowest climax. The climax is the number here. And that is this one here, the straight-tusked elephant. So now we take this card and shift it up. Here, it goes up now. And this card here, the sturgeon, is discarded. Okay. Then we have two dead elders. And well, these guys don't have any elders, so they don't have to roll. He does have to roll 2 dice. And it's a 6. So, yeah, his elder died. Now that's a problem, because that means he now only has a hand limit of 0. So I assume he has to discard that card, but I'm not absolutely sure about that. Well, it's exactly what happens. He has to discard the card. And now we see this symbol here for the first time. That's a blizzard. So for each elder or unmarried daughter, we need to have enough hunters to sustain them. And also domestical animals, by the way. So for each elder, unmarried daughter, or domestical enemies, we need 2 hunters. If we have less hunters, we have to discard some of these. So he has 1 unmarried daughter, but 6 hunters, no problems here. Same thing here. This daughter is even married, therefore no problems. Okay, that's the end of the event. We see the yellow player go first, then green, then red. Could become a problem for green, but we'll see. What about the singing woman? Your courtship rolls always succeed. Well, that's a pretty good thing. and it allows you to place these shaman portals here, and that's also very useful, especially, for example, for the Neanderthal. So I'm pretty sure he wants that, and because he's first, he has a good chance to get it. Then again, someone, yeah, he would also win auction ties. It was the caring woman. So we'll see. So he's willing to bid 2, and nobody else wants to bid 3. So he has actually to use these social discs. Problem he has now is he has 13 hunters, but only 11 discs in the vocabulary. So in the next turn, if we would see an chaos symbol, he would lose quite a few hunters if he doesn't manage to free all these or comes up with some other great idea. Okay, now we start, and the first thing he's going to do is he's going to place a fire starter here. That is also a way to get, well, rid of your cubes, basically. Now the cube is connected with the discs, but if he manages to free these discs, he has a cube less. So better chance not to go into chaos, actually. And then we want to find something that allows him to free as many orange discs as possible. Well, he has a lot of hunters, so what he could do is now he could actually split up. We have over here the honeybee, so that shouldn't be too difficult to be successful here. So I guess I'm going to place, let's see, maybe 4 on that bee. Maybe even 5. And then he's going to place the others here on the gray wolf. He might also lose a few guys because of the bee and the wolf, but that's not too bad for him in this situation. Then we see the green player. Now doing an attack would be pretty stupid for him. So I think what he's going to try is, once again, he's going for the goose here. Yeah, he cannot find a way to get rid of this discs, because the only cards, the only biomes that free these orange discs are already blocked now, and I don't want to risk a conflict here. So I'm simply going to go for the goose. Well, and now, I mean, the red player, he could now make an attack on one of the other guys. Does he want to do that? Hard to tell. I'm going to find out. By the way, I forgot that, and I'm going to do this now. The yellow player, he's going to try to marry the laughing woman, simply because she's absolutely awesome. This power here, if suffering chaos, you may lose 4 hunters instead of half. That is just amazing. So he's gonna go on a Courtship here, and well, maybe he's lucky. The red player, he wants to defend her. So what he does is he places an immature husband there, and then he wants to gain a fire starter, which happens here. And finally, let's see what we could do. Well, I'm last. I could move into the flint mine to yeah, I think that's what I want to do, to make my fire starter mature. Anything else I want to do? Hard to tell. How many do we have in the vocabulary? This is 6, 9. We have here 7. So, well, we could actually get a few more. But that's not without a risk. I'm not sure. Let's say 3 here. We only have 4 left then. Well, might not make too much sense. I don't think I will actually. I'm gonna place them all in the flint mine. There's no reason not to. Okay, so let's start with the yellow player. The honeybee here. We got 4 dice. First we're going to do the uncontested things. In the end, then we're going to do this courtship thing here because they have to fight. So 4 dice. And that is a success here. So that, and we no 6. So that means no losses. And the yellow player can free an orange disc. Which one shall it be? Good question, actually. I think I'm gonna... Hard to tell. I think I'm gonna go for this one here. So we have the fire starter now. In case we manage to kill the wolf and maybe even take it in our hand so we can tame him later, but then we need a hand limit of 1, and we only have that if we have an elder. So now these are 7 dice here for the gray wolf. Let's see. That wasn't bad. And yeah, we got a 1. A single 1, and we got triples. So it seems like that might be enough. Yep, it actually is. Do we have a 5 or a 6? No. So that was the perfect hunt. That means no losses. Maybe it would have been good to have a few losses. Simply because now we have a lot of hunters, because this guy gives us 2 additional hunters, and now we have more hunters than we have vocabulary. Well, okay then. So we could take this in our hand now. We have to replace that card with a card from the north row, the woolly mammoth. That's a nice trophy, but hard to get. And we can free a orange disc. So it's going to be that one from the singing woman. And let's see about the action here. With the tree goose, we have 6 dice, and we need a 1. And luckily we have that. So that's really good, because now the archaic man is kind of back in the game, and that's a good thing. Would have been sad to see me extinct that early. Flint mine shouldn't be a big deal here. 7 dice. And we have 2 successes. We have triples. So, in theory, we could take this in our hand for this invention here, but we don't have a hand limit. We have a hand limit of 0, so we're not allowed to do that. But we can free this disc, and now we have a fire starter. Still, I think the advantage of the fire starter, so that means that we have a hand limit of 1 now, doesn't count for this hunt. So even though we could free the disc and increase our hand limit, I think we're not allowed to take that card. Only if we would have done that in the hunt before. That's how I understand it. Now we're going to do the courtship here for the laughing woman. And first we got to fight. And by the way, on such a courtship mission, you can only send 1 of your people. You cannot place more there. That's not allowed. So, as with biomes, the guy with more black discs can start the fight. We have both 4, so it's now player order. That means the Neanderthal can start, and a 1 is a kill. And he doesn't make it. Now let's see if the red player can do it. And he also can't do it. So now they have to do their courtship roll. On a 6, they will die, because it's risky to do this. On a 1 or 2, they'll have a success. And the interesting part is now, usually, if more groups do a hunt on a biome, the one who is the first successful group gets the benefit from the hunt, and the others have to go home. Here is exactly different. The last one who does a successful roll, he gets the woman, and the others have to go home. So we do this again in player order. So first, the yellow player, he wants a 1 or a 2, which he has. Oh. Okay, oops. Now we see the red player, and he also wants a 1 or a 2, and he doesn't. So that sucks, because that means now that the yellow player will get the woman, and I'm pretty sure, not absolutely, but pretty sure that this guy is mature right away. Now, the thing is, it's not that terrible for Homo sapiens, because at the moment this woman is married, he also can, he also has the advantages. So not only if the woman is, but he also has the advantages even if the woman is married to someone else. So that's not such a big deal. It's still his daughter. And but of course now the yellow player, the Neanderthal, also gets this big advantage. If suffering chaos, you may lose 4 hunters instead of half, and that is probably very useful for him, especially in the next turn. Okay, actually I made a stupid mistake here, obviously. It says here, a hunter courting an unmarried daughter in his own tableau always succeed but starts immature. So that means now, and that's kind of a problem now for the Neanderthal, that because he didn't manage to kill his rival here, his rival was successful because the Neanderthal was first in player order. Well, the other one was last, and the last player keeps the woman. So therefore, we have now an immature husband here. But because this guy is harem holding, doesn't mean he can't use this this advantage from the jokes. He can. You only if you're pair bonding, you have to have a mature husband. So now let's come to the last phase here, and we start here again. So he can now free this disc from his daughter, the singing woman. This guy can't do anything. He can also do this neo-lecture action, and because he has an orange disc here, free this disc from here. So this husband is now mature. And that's the end of the turn. And now it's going to be interesting because we might see chaos now, and I'm not sure if Neanderthal can handle that. And, well, there is no chaos, but many possible elder die-offs. Totemism is the almost Darwinian awareness that humans are descended from animals. It arose when words from the nature domain were accidentally used in a social domain context. So we got to roll 4 dice to see if an elder dies. First we start here, and no 6, lucky for Cro-Magnon. Neanderthal rolls also no 6, so they were both very lucky here because the archaic doesn't have an elder, he doesn't have to roll here. Red goes first, then green, and we're going to auction the totem woman. Totemism may attack and hunt first. That is very useful, especially attacking. And you can place a shaman portal there. That's also cool. Now let's see who gets that. Okay, so the archaic guy was able to get this for 2 technological vocabulary discs. The woman, the totem woman, and I already assigned my hunters. So what we're going to see is Cro-Magnon. He is a little bit behind with his people, so he wants more. And, well, in addition, there's not too much he wants to do. Maybe he can get this tree goose and try to domesticate it later on. So he will simply start with 7 dice here. Well, that's not too bad. At least it's a successful hunt. But he doesn't get the card because he doesn't have triples. So that gives him, there is a 1. So that gives him 2 additional cubes. And that's it. Then we're going to see the green guy. He wants to hunt that steppe bison here. Because, well, he wants a few more people. And in addition, he wants to free 2 black cubes. Then he could marry the totem woman in the next turn. That would be pretty awesome. So let's see if I can do that. I might lose a few guys, but if I'm successful, I will get 5. But remember, this is a big game, so if the hunt is successful, I'll have to fight the Skintar cat afterward. So we have 8 dice here. One more. There is danger of frostbite, and I cannot start a fire, and a 5 is also a loss. So we'll see. Oops. Oh, come on. Okay, that's not bad. That's good, I guess. We don't get the card because we don't have quadruples, but we have 3 times a 2, which is 3 successes. That's fine. We have a 6, so that's a loss, and a 5, that's also a loss. So 2 die. And now we have to fight the cat. We have still 6 left, and remember, to keep the prey, we need at least a single success, and a success is in this case a 1. Oh shit. Wow, that sucked. That's pretty horrible. Oh my goodness. So we've lost actually 3 more people because the cat killed them. And we didn't roll a 1. So that means we're screwed. We're down at 3 again. That's pretty horrible. The cat will eat the bison, and yeah, no advantage here for us. Very, very bad. Okay, that was pretty horrible. Now it's a big hunt party of the Neanderthals. Let's see how many there are actually. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're after the woolly mammoth. Okay. We need 4 successes to have a successful hunt, and quadruples to get these double trophy. Of course, that's what we want. That's why we're here. We want the trophy. So these are 10 dice. And that's a pretty good start, I guess. We already have 4 successes. Okay. We don't have quadruples yet. Now let's see. Oh gosh, we lose quite a few guys. We lose 1, 2, 3, 4, but we have a fire starter, so we only lose 3. The 4 is also a loss here. So we will lose actually 4 people in the fight against the mammoth. And then we can roll 3 more dice. So I'm going to take the 3 5s, just to remember that. And I'm going to re-roll these 3 5s. So let's see what we got now. Okay, that's pretty good actually, because that gives us now a quadruple 2 and no more losses. So that means we would get a trophy, and we have a successful hunt, although we've lost 4 people. But again, because it's a big game, the Skimtar cat comes after us, not even afraid of this gang of Neanderthals. So before we can be sure that we make it, we have to fight that cat. But we're that many people, maybe we're even lucky to kill the cat, although that's not for certain. So we are now 9, which is pretty good. And let's hope for the best here. That was definitely a success. The hunt was successful. 3 hits. But no quadruples here. We were close, triples, but not good enough to get the second trophy. Still, we keep the woolly mammoth. We get 9 babies, We don't, I think we don't even have that many. So we get all we have, which might lead to a problem when it comes to chaos. We can free a lot of discs, but that's not necessary because it's only black and white ones, and we don't have them anywhere. So what happens is we can simply take the woolly mammoth as a trophy. It gives us a few points in the end, and we have a big gang of Neanderthals now. So that was the hunt, and Archaic is really, really in trouble now. And by the way, this is a trophy card, so that's not going to be replaced. Okay, now in the next phase, next step, nothing's going to happen here. This guy is also in trouble. He can't do anything. That was very, very unlucky for him. He can do something. He can free this disc here of the singing woman and therefore use her abilities in the next turn. And he has an additional disc which might be also useful, but I'm pretty sure he has simply too many cubes to survive a possible chaos. Let's do a last turn here. So the next card is, now we see chaos. Specialized weather forecasters would have been invaluable for determining food and kindling provisions for migrations and overwintering. So that's why we might see a weather whisperer daughter later. What happens is global cooling. This is this symbol here. So we draw a card from the north row. We look for the card with the lowest climax. That's this bison here. That card goes down. The goose goes away, which is sad because it was very useful for weaker people. And here we have now an ice sheet. So the card is placed face down. Next, we come to this symbol here. Now that's chaos. We're going to see 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Well, definitely this guy has less hunters than vocabulary. He's going to be in trouble. Now that's 6, 9, 12, 13, 6, 9, okay, definitely more. What does that mean? Well, he's going to lose half of his hunters. 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. So he's going to lose 8. That is painful. But he's so strong that even with 8 hunters, he might have a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's still good in the game with 8 hunters. No problems here for him. So they go in the dead pile. And then, if you are affected by chaos, you also lose an elder. But because he has a fire starter, it says, during chaos, no elder loss and round losses down. Okay. Now you can see the laughing woman would be very useful for him because then he would only have lost 4 instead of 8. The next thing is this blizzard again, so we have to make sure that we can sustain our people. And that's going to be a problem for this guy now. Poor Heidelbergensis. He has to kill one of his women, one of his immature daughters, because he can only sustain one. Remember, you need 2 to keep a daughter alive, and he only has 3 hunters. So it's a tough decision. I think this one is actually better, is it? But on the other hand, that one would allow him to create a napper without. So I think I'm gonna discard this card here, the Totem Woman. It's kind of sad, but yeah. So that card goes away. This guy is doing fine, and he's also doing fine. He has an elder, and these 2 daughters are married, so they are no load for the tribe. We might see an elder dead here. 1 die has to be rolled. Only Homo sapiens and Neanderthalensis might suffer. Homo sapiens is fine, and the other guy too. And then we have a Wanderlust icon here, so that means one of these guys has to go to another player. And the one who suffered the most from chaos, in this case obviously Neanderthalensis, he now gives one guy from the cup. This time I'm not going to make the same mistake as before, to one of the others, and I'm going to give it to the archaic man. Maybe that helps him a little bit. He's so bad in trouble. Why not help him here? So, yellow goes first, then red. And we're going to auction the Weather Whisperer daughter. Your rank 6 elder is immune from the elder die-off event. And it's a black bison portal here. Now that... Not sure who might need that. Hard to tell. Nobody really, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Well, again, the archaic managed to get the Weather Whisperer for 2. Obviously, for him, it's easier to pay his vocabulary because he doesn't have that many hunters. So the chance to get into chaos is not that bad for him. So we assigned our hunters. Well, actually, green didn't. Green is in trouble. There is no easy prey out there. And that really sucks. He only has 4 hunters, so it's going to be extremely hard to get, let's say, 3 successes or 4, or what we need here, 3 times a 1. Here we need 2 times a 1. And there is also a risk involved that you might lose even more. So in the end, I decided not to go hunting and maybe take the risk of an attack by the Homo sapiens. So I decided to keep my people there. At least I can do a Neolexia action now because I got this white thing here, so I can free a disc here. And, well, it's not great, but I can wait. Maybe some new prey comes up if we have some global warming or something. It's not looking good right now. Okay, so we see now the hunt. This guy goes after the caribou here. We need twice a 1, and we got 7. So we want a few more. That's why we try to hunt the caribou. And we didn't make it. No chance here. And we got triples but no quadruples. So, well, no success here. We simply got to go back, and that's it. Now these guys, they want to kill the scimitar cat, try to get the trophy here. So they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. By the way, if they would have had a successful hunt, that would have been a big game. But the scimitar cat would not have come after them because it cannot cross ice sheets. Okay, so here we have now 9, and let's see, we need twice a 1 and we want quadruples. Okay, let's roll this one again. It's not looking good at all. Yeah, that sucked. It really did. We have nothing of both. Actually, we will lose for each 5 or 6. We only have twice a 5, so for each 5 we will lose one of our hunters. So, well, no hunting success at all during this turn. Next phase, well, now this guy can do a new lecture action and remove a white disc from here. What about him? Ah, we still got here our courtship. Yeah, the yellow player, he wants the laughing woman. He really wants to marry her. So he attacks now the red one. And the red player counts now as a jealous husband. That means if he kills with 1s or 2s, the other one needs a 1. So let's see who goes first. We follow the turn order here, I think. So yellow goes first, and he doesn't make it. So no chance for him. What about the other guy? That's a 5. Now, I'm pretty sure yellow is not allowed to do a courtship roll, but I'm gonna check that. Well, I was actually wrong. He just has to survive this attack, which he did, and now he can try a courtship roll, and if he makes it, the other husband goes back to the unassigned hunters, and he becomes the new one. But he didn't make it. Instead, he was killed by the woman. So that's bad luck, a 6 here. Okay. So let's move on now to the last phase. We already did remove the discs from the weather whisperer. Now what can he do? Well, he can now do a portal action, which he doesn't want to do, because there already is an orange one in there. So another orange one is probably not very helpful. Kind of sucks for him. Now, he on the other side, he could also do a portal action, and he is gonna place a white portal, so a nature domain portal, here on that shaman space. That's allowed because of the singing woman, and that is pretty strong now, because now he actually has these 3 different colors. There is a black one underneath here, and they are all in this social domain. So that means he can now create a warrior. And that means real problems for the other guys, because if you have a warrior, you can build war parties and they will actually do a successful kill on a 1 and 2, not only on a 1. So if you have a warrior, you can really hunt down the other guys, and that is actually maybe a problem of this game, but we're gonna see about that. Okay, so I think, yes, we're done for now. I'm gonna load this up and hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com.